International suppliers. Národní podporovatelia Lurska, Lifewood, Saturn, Porsche, Nature's Aid.
It's not getting any warmer, is it?
No. 5 minutes to go before the start of the men's under-20 race. Actually, though, I'm quite grateful it hasn't got any colder, though. I mean, I'm wearing about 4 layers here. There we see the confirmation of the start list.
Well, I think Alina Ray was, when she was being interviewed, was talking about the wind, so perhaps it's a bit windier than it looks out there. It's certainly quite exposed.
Suleiman Bekmezki of Turkey had a very good run in the Balkan Championships recently. The Innerhofer twins are part of the Austrian team. Very good mountain running pair. Mohamed, third in the junior race last year. There's Cripper and Chiapinelli, who we talked about, and also Carlos Mayo for Italy and Spain. Well, good German team as well. Patrick Karl, very good steeplechaser. Amanel Petros, 4th and 3rd in the last 2 European under-23 cross-country championships. There's the French team, including Rudolf Levis. And as we move to what will be the outside of the funnels, individual entrants from Finland, Latvia and Switzerland in this race. There's Carlos Mayo, just in the centre of your shot at the moment as we pan across these runners. And there in the yellow thermal top of Germany, Amanel Petros.
Also Germany and France.
There's the Poles and the Ukrainians.
Into the race.
Well, the local TV director has chosen to pick out Simon de Boni as one of the men to watch. There's Johannes Chiapinelli and Yamani Bahan Kripa, 2 European under-23 champions from Bydgoszcz, both winning in spectacular fashion. There's another man who took a European under-23 title in Bydgoszcz. Wonderful servants of the sport in Poland. Carlos Mayo took the 10,000 meter title. Amanel Petros.
Petros took us all by surprise, didn't he, 2 years ago, when it was very little known and almost won the junior race.
2 of the men we talked about in the French team, Jimmy Gressier, and alongside him 2 years left, just out of camera shop, Rudolf Levis, Emmanuel Rudolf Levis. So slightly festive atmosphere in the funnels there, because given the warning that the gun is about to go. Petros, of course, had a great race with Mayo over 10,000 metres in Bydgoszcz, just coming away with the silver medal. So the traditional sprint to the first corner. Somers and Hendricks from Belgium and Notti from Switzerland to the fore at this stage. This is Hendricks' first ever appearance in the European Cross-Country Championships. Oh. Rather audacious opening few hundred metres from Notti of Switzerland.
Well, I often worry that the people that do that at the start, you never see them later in the race. But Barbaros disproved that completely, didn't he, in the junior men's race?
Absolutely, and well, Notti, I have a feeling we will be seeing Lucas Notti disappear back, but he's giving his home supporters something to cheer, and his family and friends know where he is at the moment. Swiss indoor 3,000 metres champion, but and he's running this race a bit like a 3,000 metre race at the moment. Leading the best of the rest is one of the Poles, Maciej Kaczmarek.
I think that might be Blazak actually in second place.
Well, the rest of the field deciding to let Lucas Notti run his own race at this stage. There you can see, well, the Poles, 2 men in the top 4 at the moment. 2 men in the top 6 for Belgium, Somers and Hendricks. 2 Frenchmen in the top 7, Rudolf Levis and Gressier. But leading the way at this stage, Lucas Notti. Well, by the time we get to the under-23 ranks, we usually know most of the expected medal contenders. They've shown some form in the under-23 races or perhaps on the track. Well, Notti finished 14th over 5,000 metres in the European under-23 Championships this summer, so a little bit of a surprise. Well, just for the record, after 660 metres, the first split, Belgium is leading the team competition. I don't think you need me to point out that it's very early stages in the race. The rest of the field, about 20-odd men bunched together at the front of the rest of the 60-odd runners. Blaszczyk, who was in second place at the end of the short lap, the Polish under-23 cross-country champion, but we can see now Mayo has steadily moved up over the course of the first kilometre and got himself into second place, but it's still Lucas Notti striding away at the front. And Notti has, well, I don't know, what do you make that? About 50 metres lead.
Well,
it's a foreshortening effect on the camera.
But then all the contenders are within range. They probably, like us, think that Notti will come back.
Dig into your memory banks. When was the last time, at whatever level, you saw a race when a rather audacious runner in the early stages of the race didn't come back? I can't remember one when they did. The one we all remember, of course, perhaps, and this is going back a long way, is John Ngugi's first World Cross Country time, when nobody knew who he was.
Yes, I thought you were going to say Tom Byers in the
no, I'm thinking about cross country here.
Mile. Okay.
Come on, work hard here, Mark.
Yes, I probably will think of something in about 20 minutes. It'll be too late.
We'll come back to you for that one, but there's an interesting thought. If you're watching this programme and we hope you are enjoying this live streaming of the SPAR European Cross Country Championships, along with European Athletics official partners, Le Gruyere and Eurovision. Have a think about that. When was the last time somebody you didn't recognise ran away at the front of a cross-country race? Doesn't even have to be a major cross-country race like this. As I said, I've come up with John Ngugi in his first World Cross-Country Triumph. That was back in 1986 when nobody actually knew who John Ngugi was, and he'd finished well back in the Kenyan trials, and he just romped away from everybody. Put it on the European Athletics Facebook page. There you go. Start a discussion.
Well, I can actually think of Hayley yelling the last time she won the European title in Dublin, because obviously we knew her as a champion from previous years, but we didn't know she was in such good form that day. She started hard and carried on hard, and
yes, I'll give you that. You've backed up your argument there. I'll give you that one. Anyway, we have Lucas Notti of Switzerland romping away at the front here. We're about 2 kilometres into this race. A race of just over 8 kilometres. Behind him, the rest of the field all bunched together. Dorian Boulvan from Belgium and Patrick Blaszczyk in second and third place at the moment. Shevchenko of Ukraine, Mayo, but a very, very big group all bunched together. Not too many men having trailed off the back from the chasing group. Just to remind you, 85 entrants.
So that was 4:41 for that 1500 metres by Notti. And when you consider the juniors, I know the juniors weren't running as far, but they covered the laps in 4:30s. So I don't think he's doing anything particularly special. I think the chasing pack, they know him and they know what they're doing.
France at the moment, at this early stage in the race, about a quarter of a way into the race, leading the team standings. Well, Boulvan competed in the under-20 race back in 2015 when it was in France, finishing 53rd on that occasion, currently in second place. Zahuni, the Spaniard, also up there with his compatriot Mayo. Zahuni just missed out on the medals, was fourth in Bydgoszcz in the 10,000 metres at the under-23 championships there this summer. Well, now we've seen it. This was somewhat inevitable that the rest of the field have now closed down on the tiring Lucas Notti, who had his moment in the sun. And yes, there is some sun here. It's rather weak and it is very chilly, but it is sunny. If you're actually in the sun, it's not too bad. If you're in the shade, it's bitter. So it's Notti, Boulvan and Mayo. That's the 1, 2, 3 at the moment. There's the Turkish runner we mentioned earlier who's moved up well. That's Bekmezgi, to give him his correct pronunciation. The French packing very well at this stage as well. About 3 kilometres into this race. Well, Boulvan now, well, he's to the fore. Well, when the runners are at the far end of the course, we're working off our television monitors, and with the sun, it's a little bit difficult sometimes to actually give you an accurate picture of who's in that leading pack. So I do apologise if we're not naming everybody.
Yes, I was just getting a little bit concerned there about Cripper. I can see him, he's there though, and obviously nobody's made a break, but he was back in about 27th place the last time we had a check.
Well, despite being sucked into the main group, Notti's still up there. Patrick Karl up there, the very good German steeplechaser. Chris Ollie
On the same bar now, Christopher
now
Ollie
taking the lead, the Briton.
taking the initiative, coached by Mark Hookway.
Was 17th in the under-20 race 2 years ago, returning to the European stage this year in the Slovakian town of SPAR.
Christopher Ollie z Veľkej Británie, 21-ročný pretekár, je na vedúcej pozícii. Jeho trénerom je Mark Hookway.
So still very, very bunched at the front.
Checking the situation, the others.
Belgian runners at this stage having a very good race. We weren't expecting them, apart from Simon de Bonny, to show.
And Mayo taking the lead now. The Spanish double silver medalist in this category at the recent two European cross-country championships. Everybody together, they are very small.
So you can see the leading runners, many of the men that we talked about.
Split.
Michael Sommers up there as well, leading a very good good group of Belgians. The Belgians having an outstanding run. Belgium got silver medal
Belgium, Spain, France, top 3.
12 months ago. There you go, Belgians confirmed that they are actually in the lead
Split number 4.
after 3,600 meters.
And here the top 8 names: Mayo Mullen, Ollie, Rudolf Levis, Elka Kmis Devoye, Gressier, Zarhuni.
And that lap was 5 seconds quicker than the previous lap where the Swiss was leading, so
Well,
Ollie and de Bonny have been the quickest on that last lap, 4:35. But there's
Well-
still plenty of people in touch.
Well, Belgium has won 2 individual gold medals in the under-23 ranks in the past, but never a team gold. Well, now a little bit of a breakaway here from Mayo. He's just put in a bit of a surge.
Meters. The rest of the runners.
Well, Mayo's form on the Spanish cross-country circuit hasn't been utterly convincing.
And
He's come
behind him,
here-
Jimmy Gressier with his trademark reverse baseball cap.
There's now a gap of about 15 meters. Back to Rudolf Levis and a couple of the Belgians. Gressier 4th 12 months ago in Chia. Running very, very well, the Frenchman. Indeed, won the French 10 kilometres on the roads. Just 20 years of age.
The footballer who ran too fast, they call him. He was a very good footballer, but he was too good a runner to play football, even if that might still be his desire.
Oh, I think that desire's long gone now, I would imagine.
But I think
Certainly making his mark in athletics.
and he will be hungry as well, because he was disqualified from the European Under-23 Championships, 5,000 for stepping inside the curb, which is something that happens to athletes. If you step inside the line on a curve, you don't run the full distance, and you're disqualified.
Well,
That's not going to be a problem here, though.
Would imagine he's hungry as well, having finished 4th at the last 2 European Under-23 races at the SPAR European Cross Country Championships.
But it's all changed now at the top.
Yeah, Bouvan back in front now. Bouvan having a very good race as we're well beyond the halfway point now in this 8-kilometre race. Well, de Bonny up there as well. 4 Belgians in the top 10 at the moment, but still a large bunch. So we've got Bouvan, de Bonny, Hendricks, and Sommers. They're the 4 Belgians who are at this stage in pole position in the team standings. So it's all just settled down now. Gressier and Rudolf Levis in the pack. El Katmis of Turkey. Mehmed, last year's bronze medalist in the under-20 race. Currently lying in about 7th or 8th place in that very large bunch at the front. Italians not showing so far, so we haven't seen much of Ciapinelli or Crippa so far. So at 5,160 metres, Bouvan, Mayo, De Boni are the top 4. There you can see Petros. Well, he hasn't been seen at the front, but he's been tucked in there. Ollie just slipping back into the pack.
And the pace is winding up. There were low 4:30s. There was that 4:30, 4:31. So it's getting gradually quicker. Despite the fact that the break from Mayu somewhat evaporated.
Well, Dorian Bouvan had a good season, has been racing with the seniors, finished 6th in the recent Mol cross country, one of the very high standard Belgian races, and then 7th in Rousselard. 53rd in his last outing at the SPAR European Cross Country Championships. Confirmation there that Belgium are indeed leading the way in the team standings, followed by France. Great Britain, Northern Ireland in 3rd at the moment. Spain in 4th. So Belgium at the moment on their way to their first gold medal of any description in the men's under-23 race. I've got alongside me a couple of Belgian commentators for Belgian television, starting to get very excited about this outcome. Just got the thumbs up from one of my colleagues. Carl, after being up in the top dozen during the first half of the race, now starting to slip back. Bit of daylight from that very big leading pack still. It could be anybody who comes through from there. There's a bit of pushing and shoving. Mayo nearly lost his footing there, but just stayed upright.
Mohamed's looking quite useful at the top there. He's a first year under 23, 3rd in the junior race last year. He won a big cross country race in Milton Keynes, and he's also been running really well on the roads. He ran in the Great South Run 10 miles.
Just as we just chatting about Mohamed, in fact it's Crippa who moves to the front and starts to put in a big burst, and he's really opened up that leading pack. We'll switch back to the leading pack in a moment. There we see Crippa. In the space of about 200 metres, he's really broken apart that leading pack. This could be a very, very significant surge. Mohamed, we're talking about him. He's keeping track of movements in front of him. De Boni trying to cover the break. Gressier up there as well. Mayo. Hugo Hay coming through. So that's the top 6 now after that surge from Crippa.
And around about that time that surge was developing, I saw one of the Belgians fall, the Belgian with the top knot, Sommers. So that's harmed their chances. He got up quite fairly quickly.
So Crippa now leading the way. This is the man who was 3rd in last year's race, but went on to win gold on the track over 5,000 metres. Has a very, very good sprint finish, but he's taking this from a long way out now. Just over 1,500 metres to go. He's coming into the last of the long laps. So very shortly we'll hear the bell. And Mayo, I don't know, just starting to look a little bit tired. Crippa looking quite relaxed at the front there. Somewhat awkward running style with very hunched shoulders. And you just heard the bell. Almost exactly 20 minutes on the clock. LA Hugo, well that's for Hugo Hay, the Frenchman, who's back in about 6th place at the moment. So it's Cripper, Mayo, Gressier, De Bonny, Mohamed. That's the top 5. Hugo Hay from France in 6. Another Frenchman. Rudolf Levis in 7. Miele in 8. I think that means France are now top of the tree as far as the team standings are concerned. Well, after, frankly, a little bit of jostling and a very, very relaxed first 6 kilometres, it's now really starting to hot up. And Cripper is really making a long surge from home. Gressier looking calm behind him. He's looking in good shape. Mayo, well, you normally don't see his head bobbling from side to side until the last 200 or 300 metres. I think Mayo's quite tired here. De Bonny is following him. Hey, Mohamed just slipping back now into 6th place.
And that last lap forged by Cripper, 4:22. Much the fastest lap we've seen in any other races here, and that's why what was a pack is now being strung out. They're fighting to stay in touch with him.
Yeah, that's right, it's Cripper now. Well, he hasn't shaken off definitively the rest of the chasers. Just about 5 metres between him and Jimmy Gressier. Gressier, well, made a meal of clearing that hurdle, even though it was only a small obstacle. Mayo now starting to try and come back at the 2 men in front of him. Pulling away from Rudolf Levis and Hay. But it's still Italy, Belgium and Spain. That's the 1, 2, 3 at the moment. So Cripper really starting to work hard up front. Gressier now starting to look somewhat pained, his expression, but he's still looking very strong. His face is giving it away though. Mayo, De Bonny has now closed up again on Mayo. Mayo tried to briefly close the gap between himself and Gressier, but De Bonny and Rudolf Levis now just following in his footsteps. In fact, it's Hay. Got the Frenchman confused. It's the Hay. So we're now looking at Italy, France and France. That's the 1, 2 and 3. Belgium and Spain. And Rudolf Levis in 6th place. So 3 Frenchmen in the top 6 at the moment. But this race is being led by Italy's Yamani behind Cripper. Well, he said he hoped he could produce a last lap like he did on the track in Bydgoszcz. Well, the last laps here are 1,500 metres, somewhat longer. But and now Gressier is getting right up on his shoulder.
I was going to say, we know Gressier can kick as well, because when France won the junior team title, it was his placing when he outkicked people in the straight, which got those vital points. So we know he has a fast finish too.
Hay just tracking the pair of them. Hay's broken away from the 2 men in front of him to get up on almost on the shoulder of Gressier and Cripper. Now this is going to be a very enthralling race over the last 500 metres. Well, Cripper now just starting to show the effects of his long run from home. You saw the grimace on his face there. Now they have a sharp turn onto the sand. This is where it can really sap your energy. We're just a couple of 100 metres from home now. Well, it's still Yamani behind Cripper leading the way. Gressier of France. Jimmy Gressier, 4th at the last 2 European Under-20 Championships, now taking the lead, getting past Yamani behind Cripper. And Hugo Hay in 3rd place at the moment. So we've got 3 men coming into the final 100 metres. We've got 1 turn left. Now Gressier is making his move. He's really working hard. 70 metres to go now for Gressier of France, followed by Hay, his compatriot. Cripper now slipping back. Cripper out of contention as Jimmy Gressier comes through to take the gold for France. Hugo Hay is already starting to celebrate, a delighted silver medalist, but gold goes to Jimmy Gressier of France. Silver to Hugo Hay, the exhausted 20-year-old Frenchman. Yamani behind Cripper taking the bronze as the rest of the leading runners stream in. Rudolf Levis coming up well to take 4th place for France. That's as good as confirmed that the French take the team title. 2nd for the last 2 years, well, Carlos Mayo has to settle for 5th this time. Simon de Boyne from Belgium in 6th as we look at the remaining leading runners. Well, Mohamed slipped back to 12th place after showing well in the penultimate lap, but celebrations between the French team. That was Melit coming down, long way down, but Alexis Melit, 22 years of age, will almost certainly be standing, subject to confirmation, on top of the podium with France taking the team title. Well, for my money, that was probably the most enthralling race of the day, but we've still got 3 more races to come. The 2 senior races and concluding this fascinating program, the first ever mixed relay. What's your thoughts on that race, Mark?
Well, I wonder if Cripper might regret pushing so hard on the penultimate lap, because we knew he had the finishing speed. Everybody in this race knew he had the finishing speed. He didn't want to leave it to that. Perhaps he was well aware of what Jimmy Gressier might unleash on the last lap, but he couldn't get away. And I'm very pleased for France.
I think I'd concur with that. I think that was a tactical error by Cripper, but nevertheless, he'll be standing on the podium. And, you know, this is still very, very early stages in their career. It'll be very interesting to see how they develop as athletes. And, of course, next year we do move on to the Berlin 2018 European Athletics Championships, part of the inaugural multi-sport European Championships, which takes on 7 sports. I think we're going to be seeing some of these leading under-23 athletes dueling again over 5,000 metres. Confirmation of the standings. Gold goes to Jimmy Gressier of France. 24:35 for that race, just over 8 kilometres. Silver, and a surprise silver, I have to say, but a very well-deserved one to France's Hugo Hay. And bronze to Italy's Yamani Bahan. Cripper for the 2nd year running, 3rd in Chia 12 months ago, 3rd here in SPAR in 2017. There's the team standings. Well, 3 in the top 4 means France, the most dominating winners of a team competition so far today. Belgium 2nd,